Hi everyone. How's everyone? Good evening. So this is our first live event. We have some technical issues, and um, one of the alumni, Jillian, won't be able to with us because she was sick, and maybe she will join later. And also, Rashad has a job, and he's commuting from his job to his home, and he might join later on. So let's welcome Henry and Jamari. And Haley is our moderator, and take it away, Haley.
Hey guys, I'm Haley. I'm the music librarian assistant here at ECSU. So this event is basically to get some insight from you guys who are alumni of ECSU. And I have a few prepared questions. But before we start, can you guys give a brief introduction of yourself? And either one of you can start.
My name is Henry Harris. Recent graduate of Lewis City. Graduated this past semester, and my degree is music education. And now I'm a grad student getting a master of music and jazz studies at Northern Illinois University.
Again, my name is Jamari Williams. I'm a fall 2024 um, recent grad. Um, I have a bachelor's of arts degree in music education. I'm currently the director of bands at Broadview Middle School and Hugh Cummins High School in Burlington, North Carolina.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the questions. So the first question was, how did your time in the music program here at ECSU shape your career path?
I can go first. Um, I think it shaped my path, my career path pretty well. I think having those important mentors and important instructors that really, gave me that inside information and, about education and the field of education, stuff to look out for and stuff like that. I think that was valuable information for my career path. So I think that really helped me the most in my career and what I do now.
I think for me is the students, professors as well, just learning as much as I can, the different experience that people bring with them, and the things that they do themselves. You just pick on small things that it just makes you like think differently, and you can adapt, take what you got that might be useful for you, and then things that might not be useful for you, you can still use it and give it to somebody else because it might be useful to them. So this experience is the main thing for me.
All right. And then, so the second question is, what is one of your favorite memories from your time in the music department?
So one of my favorite memories would have to be um, when we had Wynton Marsalis and the Jazz at Lincoln Center come to play in our auditorium. I thought that was a very great event. Um, I think it was helpful mostly for the department to just get our name out there as a department first of all, but also since we're such a small department, I thought that was very good for us to be able to get exposed to something as big as that. So I thought that was a very memorable event.
I think my favorite event is when we had IMA at ECSU. All the other local schools came down to see all the talent, and IMA is a lot of the smaller schools, so just have them small schools come together and still be able to produce a good product and show how much talent they learn at their respective institutions. I think that was the best part for me.
All right. Also, for those who just joined, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section, and then whenever we take a break period, we can answer your questions. All right. So going on to question 3, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced after graduation, and how did you overcome them?
So for me personally, I would say getting a job. um, Getting a job, especially for fall graduates, it's kind of a, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of a weird period to graduate, to try to get a job in your career path. So I kind of struggled with that for a little bit, but I think it was a blessing and a curse. Because I think it was good and important to have that break away from school, to get your mental right and prepared. Um, but also, I think I was more so ready and kind of expected to just jump into the field. Um, but yeah, I would say that was probably the biggest challenge.
I think for me, it was really honing in my skills as a musician. Being in grad school, everything gets more meticulous a little bit, especially just being around this area. The Midwest area is prominent to have good music schools. One of the prominent areas in the country, the Midwest, like Texas and LA, this is one of the parts of the country where you have a lot of good musicians. And so being up here, it would just it makes you wonder, think about things you done prior, like man, all the late night practice undergrad and juries and recitals. Then from a music perspective, what did I do everything I need to do when I was at ECSU to get prepared for here? Like what things, habits that I did there I can keep? What habits can I use now that I need to improve, and what I need to get rid of? Because this is a whole different ball game. You got more things you're competing for, more things you're doing. You got to compete for ensembles, and it's the fact that you have undergrads here, so they're looking up to you. So then they seeing what you're doing, and you want to make an impact on them that makes let them know that there's something next they can go to further education.
I agree. I agree. All right. So, how important is versatility in a career, and how did you develop different skills to adapt?
So versatility, I think, is very important, especially in education. Versatility, you have to be very versatile, especially when it comes to teaching and teaching styles and teaching skills. I would say I obtained very good skills from my instructors, such as like Juliet Boykins, Dr. Juliet Boykins, um, Professor Douglas Jackson, just those different individuals who use different types of teaching styles. Dr. Swan, those individuals who use different teaching styles and different ways of thinking, just like Henry mentioned earlier. I just took what I know from them and kind of just adapted to myself and just use, that versatility and my own versatility to do what I do now.
I think when it comes to versatility, I think it's very important because being one track mind can be a hard thing to do in the world we live in today. Of course, when you be as good as you can at something and be good at it, for people can actually do that task in the real world. But I think a good example I think about a lot is doctors. Everybody wants to have a good doctor because you have someone who's not versatile in the craft. He's a cardiologist, but then he can't tell you that if it's a problem not wrong with your heart. So it's like you go to a doctor, you got someone who specializes in something, but you at least want that person to tell you if it's not your heart that's the problem. So it's like being specialized in something is good. My kids me in jazz studies. My master's degree is gonna be in. Yeah, when I graduate, I'll be specialized in jazz studies, hopefully. But my undergrad degree is bachelor's in music education, and this degree is still band related regardless. So I should be able to teach somebody else how to put a ligature on a clarinet, or how to tune an alto saxophone, and how to have good technique. That not just tell them how to swing music. So to have a well-rounded person, a well-rounded musician, is good all around because you never know where you might be at, what you might need to accomplish. I know Jamar just for a fact. He's a band director. I know he they ain't know people just want to know what jazz doing. They want to know concert band. They want to know marching band. There's so many things you have to keep in mind with that stuff. So I think versatility is very important.
Okay, and then also for Henry, how did you develop different skills to adapt?
For that aspect, I had to just see what's going on, observe. I believe Quincy Jones once said that God gave you 2 ears for a reason, only one mouth. Listen twice as more than you talk. the more you listen, the more you pick up on. And sometimes it's not always about like what you know. So it's about what you don't know. So a lot of times to adapt, all you gotta do is listen, observe, see what's going on, and then use that information you observed to get to the next level.
I agree. All right. So, next question is, how has technology changed the way you approach music or your career? Whether this is in performance, production, or just in business in general.
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Yeah. So, how has technology changed the way you approach music or your career, whether that's in performance, production, or business?
Um, I would say technology is definitely a huge asset in what I do to my day to day, especially in the classroom. I pretty much use technology almost for everything. I use technology for warm ups in the morning, for my classes. I use smart music for assignments sometimes. Just different, varieties of music technology and just technology in general that I use to help assist me through my day to day. I think it's very accessible. And since COVID, kids are kind of used to just having those technologies on hand and using that. So, why not just use something that they're used to? It kind of helps, especially when you're doing lessons and stuff like that. So, yeah.
For me, being the fact that I'm still in school, the most technology helps for me is slowing things down to listen to. My degree program requires me to transcribe a lot of things and using my ear a lot. So to transcribe solos and all that, YouTube a lot, slowing things down. I never used the slow down function on YouTube to listen to stuff. So that was something else. And also the fact, even though like in jazz studies, another part of jazz studies is teaching jazz as well. So like my jazz pedagogy class I have, we focus on teaching students in high schools how to do jazz and stuff. And one thing we use for that is a function called make music or like site refactory. It helps, even though that's you can't swing in there really, but it still helps. So yeah.
All right. So, the next question is, where are you in your career today, and how close are you to reaching your goals?
So again, currently I'm the director of bands at Broadview Middle School and Hugh Cummins High School in Burlington, North Carolina. Um, I would say, since I've just started, because this will be my first official teaching job. I think I'm just kind of getting started in my career path and my purpose in life. Um, I'm getting to where I want to be. Again, I still want to obtain my master's and my doctorate one day, if possible, to teach, excuse me, on a collegiate level one day. So that's where I want to kind of go with my career and my career path.
Um, just like Jamari said, just starting out. I my goals right now. I'm a grad student here at NIU and jazz studies. After I finish this, I plan to be where Jamari is, teaching some public school somewhere. Get in the trenches. That's where it counts. And then eventually get my doctorate because I do plan to teach collegiate level in the long run. So yeah.
All right. So, what advice would you give to current students who are considering a career in music or even just going through college alone for a different major?
I would definitely say one thing, or one piece of advice I would give is to make sure you pay attention. Pay attention to those details that your professors are telling you. Pay attention to your schedule, really, especially with music majors. Pay attention to your schedule. Um, yeah, just take in everything that is given to you. And what I mean by that is any piece of advice somebody gives you, any, any sayings, anything that you can apply to your daily life as a music major, please make sure that you take that in. and just don't take it lightly because music majors, a lot of people don't understand that it takes a lot. You know, we have to do a lot. We have a lot of classes, like we have recitals, all of that good stuff. So you know, yeah, just yeah.
The best advice for anyone, um, I would say, is just do your best. If you put your best foot forward and give the most energy, the most effort, you'll be successful, hands down. No matter what you're doing, music, art, math, you'll be successful. You try every time, 100%. And the thing people don't understand too, that your 100% at 1 o'clock might not be your 100% at 3. So wherever your 100% at 3 o'clock is, give that 100% and then keep working at it. For music specifically, in that subject area, I'll say practice. I really will stress the importance of practicing and not practicing a tune, practicing the technique. How do you breathe? How do you accent a note? What is your tongue doing when your tongue gets off the mouthpiece? Like the small, minute details make really good musicians, and that really just makes a good and a great musician. Is practicing and then understanding what you did and be able to tell someone else how to do it. That's how you really know you're getting good. If you can tell someone else how you achieve something, and this is outside of music too. If you can tell someone how you achieved a problem in math, or how you achieved to help somebody out with if I don't know, like something about life, someone's tying their shoe. If you can tell someone else how to do something, you're on another different level that some adults can't even do today. So that's a life skill that's good you can use the rest of your life. Just be able to achieve something and then explain how you got the answer.
Also, I'm sorry. I also meant to say, for advice to any music majors, don't lose sight of your love for music. Once you lose sight of that love for music, then you will lose yourself. Once you get overwhelmed with, because like I said, as a music major, it's very demanding. It's very demanding. So please don't lose sight of that love of music that you originally had, because once you do that, it's not going to be the same. So make sure you keep that love for it and you keep that passion for it, because that's what's going to keep you going. Just like me now, being an educator is not easy at all. It's trying every day, but I have that passion and that love, and I keep having to remind myself every day of that, and that's what keeps me going throughout the day. So please remember to keep that passion and love for whatever you do.
I'm actually gonna kind of piggyback off of that. As a freshman who is also a music major, I can agree that it's definitely been a little rough, and there were times where I was just like, I can't do this. And definitely, I agree that your schedule is the biggest thing, just in college in general. There's times where I wouldn't go to class, and I really saw the results of that. And just paying attention to your professors and making a connection with your professors is a big thing, because I've learned that having even just a small connection with your professors give you a lot of leeway, and it helps you learn in the end. So I definitely think that was really perfect advice. So on to the next question is, how do you stay motivated and creative in your work?
As far as creative, in my work, I try to do things outside of the box, that I know the kids are not typically used to. Um, for one, it's getting them exposed to different things. Um, you never know what you're exposing the next generation to. So it's important to, get them exposed to different things. They might end up, doing different career paths in the end of the day that they want to now. Also, how do I keep motivated? Just like I stated earlier, just that passion and that love for music that I had since I was a child. Um, that keeps me motivated throughout the day. Maybe just even listening to a song that I like might motivate me throughout the day.
When it comes to creative with my work, I think about the small things that about music that makes it so beautiful, just like the harmonies and just how people make hip hop songs, strings. Like I watch a lot of things like on YouTube or Instagram Shorts of band directors playing hip hop songs with kids. I'd be like, man, I thought I should do something like that. So I started myself to make myself to get scales easier. I be playing my scales like hip hop beats on the computer because it's so much more like fun. Like it's just different. Or I started doing too was just for fun. I have a DAW, was a digital audio workstation. Like people make beats and all that. So I made me like a beat, a drum beat on a drum machine to play my scales to. Just because I just want to do something different. Just why not? Because there's no limits. Why not do something everybody else is doing? It, I want to do it too. For to inspiring, I think to this you said about how he inspired or something you said. Yeah. So for that, I just think about the people who wish they had my where I was at, who wish had my spot, wish they was in grad school, who wish they was able to go to an undergrad school and learn, get an education. Because I'm thinking myself that this is one reason why I love music so much, and just why I love my life so much. It inspires me, motivates me to the fact that there are people who wish they had this, so I don't want to waste it. So I want to give all my all and everything I can do. That that really is what does it for me.
All right, so we're just gonna take like maybe a few minutes, see if anybody has any questions or anything, or if you guys have something to say. Just a few minutes, little break, take some water, drink some drink. All right, so there are three more questions, and then at the end, I do want to say that if you guys have any specific compositions or arrangements that you guys have that you're super proud of, or you think that, you know, something very close to you that you want to share, um, I can either put it on here, or if you send it to me, I can post it as well. Um, but I'm going to go back to the questions. There's three left, and then we might wrap up a little early due to two people not being here. So the next question was, what's one thing students should start doing now to prepare for life after graduation?
Ooh, I can answer this. Um, Save money, first of all. Please save money. Um, the way the economy is going right now, uh, yeah, please save your money up. Um, specifically for music majors, specifically for music educators, please take your praxis. Please plan to take your praxis core. That's your math, your reading, your writing. Please plan to take that. When I was in school, unfortunately, they didn't really stress enough or really, tell us enough that we needed to take that in order to get into the education program. So please make sure um, you take that praxis core and you prepare to take the praxis for the music for the state as well. But yeah, that's all I would say.
That question is loaded. You gotta say it again.
Okay. What's one thing students should start doing now to prepare for life after graduation?
Okay, boy, everything. I think you just need to just get in that mindset of what do you want out of life. You gotta change your mindset. First thing is change your mindset. What do you want out of life? Do you want, in the sense of music, do you want to be a teacher, a performer? You want to be a musicologist, a historian, a librarian? Like you gotta, there's anything in life you gotta think ahead. So money, you gotta save your money. You gotta develop that mindset first. Save your money. If I know that I want to be a teacher, then during the summer, I should try to if I'm in college, you're in college. Usually, public schools are still in school when classes get out. So I want to be a teacher. Maybe I should try to be a long-term sub or a substitute teacher at my local high school. If I want to be a performer, then I should try to look up at community orchestras, or I should look at community big bands, jazz bands, or any groups and try to play with them. If I know that and then outside me, if I know what I want to be a good person at math, a mathematician, I should look for some fellowships at NASA or something. We're in Elizabeth City, this school in Elizabeth City. NASA got fellowships over there, right there at Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. So if you want to do something, you got to put yourself in them positions to find the opportunities to get what you want, because it's not going to happen instantly overnight. So am a firm believer on experiences. Experiences will many, get you so many things, take you so many places. Like you want to be able to make sure and provide yourself with a future that's going to be self-sustainable. So you got to worry about your parents. Your parents do what they can now because they love you. But once you get out, parents start acting like they be like, "Oh, you got this degree now, so what's going to happen next?" So what you gonna use it like? But of course, life happens. Of course, people who go to school, there are people in the world who go to school 4 years and then don't do what their degree says it's going to do, and that's fine. But you better have a plan to get where you want to go. Don't say you just gonna graduate and do nothing. You gotta have put some effort in. That's all I'm saying. Effort and come up with a plan and back up your words. Actions are better than words.
And to piggyback off of what Henry said, as far as internships, ECSU is pretty good about having resources for internships and stuff like that. So, um, if anybody ever needs some resources, ECSU normally, sends out information about resources and internships and stuff like that. So,
All right. So, what's something outside of music that has had a huge impact on your career or just your life in general?
ooh, I got to think about that one. Something outside of music. Hmm. Well, I could say, so I'm a member of two organizations. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and then I'm also a member of Kappa Kappa Psi National Honorary Band Fraternity Incorporated. Um, so with one of my organizations, it's related to music, but the other one, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, it has had a positive impact on my life. I think as far as like mentorship, that has played a big role in my life. As far as like resources, that brotherhood has always been there for me. So I think that's something positive that has impacted my life. Aside from music, yeah, and it just helped me branch out. Just helped me become better, a better individual than I already was. Um, you know, So it just helped me, to stand out more than what I already were. So yeah, I hope that answered the
It,
question.
it yeah.
For me, it's been poetry and reading. I love literature. Yeah, literature in my mind as a type of art form. So I be inspired reading things like some might sound crazy, Shakespeare or like Hunchback of Notre Dame, like them type of authors. Frankenstein, like I'm reading classics, and they're so inspiring. So I'd be like, man, it's like telling a story. There are stories too, but that's really like something that I do when I'm like outside me that helps me just go through life and get inspiration. Just reading, but reading the classic stuff, like the classic literature. 'Cause that's where them books like that is where like foundation of American literature happened, where we learn most of the stuff like grammar and your vowels and all that. So that's why I like reading them type of things.
All right. And then there's two more questions. So, how did you find your first job or opportunity after college?
So, originally, my first opportunity for a job was a school in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. That opportunity came to me through a recommendation. Actually, somebody recommended me for the job. Um, Unfortunately, that was not for me. But with this new job position that I have now, I actually did the job application back in January. I did a job application back in January, and I didn't hear back from them until maybe mid February. I heard back from them. I got a date for an interview. They told me to come back for a second interview, and next thing I know, I'm working. So, yeah.
I will say hmm, it was when I did a Christmas concert in my local county. Uh, Luckily, I've been doing it for a couple of years. So basically, what I did was I created my own opportunity. I wanted to give some back to the community. And I did research to raise money and I brought people that I've been gigging with and played with for a while, local musicians and musicians who taught me music teachers and private lessons, and I just put all these people together that I met. Just bring all these musicians, and I put together a big band, and we did a big band concert at my church. My church is pretty big, and so we did it at my church, and then we did a free to the public, and to provide compensation to musicians, I was able to get sponsors and raise money and funds, and so that's what I did. I just created my own, and then doing that so I did it for 3 years. I used that to help me into grad school, just tell them like what I did in jazz, in the jazz aspect.
All right. And then the last question is, what are you planning to do to reach your destination or goals that you made a long time ago, or maybe something that you really want to do in life? Like I know Jamar, you said you wanted to get your master's, maybe your doctorate. What is something that you plan to do to get to this level?
So once I finish this school year, definitely, especially over the summer, I plan to just start studying back up. Um, go through those music education notes, all that good stuff, to make sure I'm well prepared to be in that music program, for my master's. Um, so yeah, that's just what I plan to do. Also planning on studying about the licensure tests and all of that stuff I have to go through, just preparing myself mentally, um to be able to go through that.
I think for me it will be just practicing and getting in the trenches. I want to be where Jamari is. I want to get to a school where I can help shape young minds because my ultimate goal is to teach college. But I really strongly believe that the best college professors are the ones that taught public schools, because in public schools anything can happen. Private schools you got less restrictions, and you got some that has more restrictions, but it's very like closed off. Most time private schools are like the best kids, like a surrounding county or something. Public schools, everyone. It's just that's saying them kids are not the best, but it's just like they're just it's just more fluent, more state funded. Private schools private, so maybe everybody can go to private schools and don't got the funds. So it's just the fact that I wanted myself to become a better educator, and on the side be a good performer too.
All right. So I actually myself have a question. So earlier this semester, I myself have decided that I want to work towards my master's. So after graduating from here, I will be going to either Norfolk State or ODU to work on my master's there for a graduate program. So my question is, how, try to form this question. What is the best advice that you have for me when it comes to, because I'm getting my major for music education as well, and I plan to become a music educator in schools. So what is your advice for somebody like me who wants to get into the education system or get into a graduate program as well?
Henry might can answer this a little bit better than me. But like I stated earlier, I think it's just getting yourself prepared mentally. When it comes to master's programs, I know it's definitely more hardcore than undergrad. You know, it's a lot of papers. So, you know, if you already know you don't like to write papers, go ahead and start trying to force yourself to, you know, start writing papers, you know, on just different topics in music and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that would be also another thing Henry mentioned earlier. Just, you know, practicing on your craft, you know, because you still have to audition and stuff like that for that master's program. So, you know, just making sure you're well prepared for that. But yeah, Henry might can touch a little bit better on that.
Well, for your case, or any case really, when it comes to music, there are a few things you gotta worry about. Try to go through them really fast. First thing is who do you want to uh, who do you like to study with? First thing. If you're going for, I'm assuming you want to go for music education.
Yeah.
So you want to go for music education, then it still applies somewhat. You want to be out like for me. If I'm assuming you want to do band, right?
Yes.
If I want to go to a master program about music education and I want to be a really good music teacher, but I want to be really good at band, I'll look at Texas, schools in Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, Northern Virginia, and that's it. Because they're one of the best band places to go. They're band states. They have like the best band programs. So I'll look at those and be like, okay, I can learn how to be a good band director because these are band schools.
Yeah.
The second thing I'll do is that I will look at, I'll be real with myself. How good am I really? And what can I do to get a spot where I want to be? Because, and also location. If you want to go to Norfolk State or US, that's cool. Get a master's in education, that's fine. And that's why that's what I said about experiences. That's why I said them states, because them are banned states. If you go to them states, you will definitely learn a lot because all they do is ban. Some of the people who wrote Essential Elements, Back to Basics are from Oklahoma. They went to the University of Oklahoma. They're banned states. So, like, and also like I said, back to the plan wise, because you might get so good playing now, trying to get into grad school, you might be like, oh man, I do a performance degree instead. You might change it up. So then you gotta see like who your applied teacher is, who you want to study with, because that's also a big point too. But the main thing, if you're doing community education, not trying to get too off topic, if you're going for education and you want to do band, apply to schools that are band states. And then also, you want to do education, build your resume now to fit them needs, such substituting, long-term subs and music. Go to music camps, because a lot of people, which I found out too, from asking people and talking to people, a lot of people when you go to grad school, A lot of these guys, well, depending where you go, I'll say that. But if you go to someone like a band, say like I said, a lot of these guys they went to Wingate or they went to like Aspen, all these music camps over the summer to build their skills up. Like they do all that stuff. So you have to get yourself thing out there. Even though those are performance opportunities, a lot of people who teach these education course stuff, they be there teaching too. They be conductors of the ensemble. So you need to put yourself out there to do it. So find out where you want to go based off location, or if you willing to sacrifice location for experience. That's another thing too. Then your skill level, how much you want to practice. You want to be good. Like you got, can you get into the University of North Texas at your skill level? Use graduate, you need there. Then you got to think about money, finances. Are you be able to afford to go in there? Are you willing to take the loans out? Cough, cough, me. Take the loans out to be able to go to experience something like grad school. Because it might not be a lot. It might be a few loans. But then might not be, it might be a whole bunch. So are you willing to do that? It's so money and then experience. That's the two main things I always say when it comes to bettering yourself in education: money and experience. You can have both. You can sacrifice, but one of them, both of them two things are the main things that influence continuing education. That's all. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
All right, so Rashad joined. So just introduce yourself a little bit, and then I will ask you just a few questions. And after that, there's one more question at the end, and we can wrap everything up.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good, good. I hope so. Thank you, Haley, for allowing us to use this space and time to introduce ourselves to the people. My name is Rashad Addison. Um, I graduated with a BA in music, and my concentration was sound recording technology. I came in fall of 2016 and graduated in spring, fall of 2020. I came in fall, left fall. So, um, during my time there, in undergrad, I did band and choir, various ensembles within band and the concert choir, of course, for one academic year.
All right, so the first question is how did your time in the music department shape your career path?
Well, a lot of my time was spent in performance-based ensembles like band and like chorus for that year. So, in addition to the classes that I was taking in the program, so all of that helped shape my musical skills, such as reading music, understanding it, understanding music theory, um, communicative skills with my peers and with the people who run those programs, like the directors and things like that. So that kind of helped shape how I am and where I am in my career path by transferring those skills to where I am now.
All right, and then the second question I have is where are you in your career today, and how close are you to reaching your goals?
Okay. So, um, where am I in my career? So I'm in graduate school. That is how I chose to further my career. Um, and what was the second part of the question?
All right, and then the last question was what advice would you give to current students who are considering a career in music or students just going through college in general for a different major?
Oh man, have a plan. Have a plan and stick to the plan. There's nothing better than having a plan, having a lookout for the time after you graduate, and giving yourself grace with the plan that you have. Some things are going to work out, some things will, but just have a plan and keep moving forward.
All right, and this is actually a question for everybody. This is actually the last question. So, can you guys just talk about your musicianship and your journey with the instruments you play, or the multiple, maybe your the one instrument you play, and yep. So, Jamari.
So I originally I played trumpet since sixth grade. I originally did not want to play trumpet. Actually, I wanted to play a percussion instrument. Believe it or not. Um, So yeah, the trumpet kind of found me, and I've just been running with it since. I fell in love with it. At one point, I will be honest, I did feel like I lost my love for my instrument. But again, like I spoke earlier, it comes with not forgetting and losing that passion and love that you have for music and your craft and what you do. And as long as you continue to hold on to that, I believe that whatever you love and you do and whatever your passion is, you will continue to do that. So that's what I've done. I still continue to play. I still continue to learn other instruments as well. And
I guess I'll go. I'll say that for me, yeah, man, I was all around the place. My first instrument I ever did was trumpet. Actually, trumpet. I think trumpet players make good band directors. Come on, my band director is a trumpet player. I think they do. I just hands down. And but I was still in that third trumpet part, so I couldn't escalate nowhere. So you fold tuba trombone. I started doing that in high school and stuff, and then I got interested in double bass, and yeah, and I but me, I was best of some amazing educators, and I stay on that every day to say when you have someone that teaches you and knows what they're doing, or you have good private instructors. I was blessed. My band director and I had two mentors. I moved schools. They were really good educators and really good teachers, and they could play. My first teacher played trombone very well. My second teacher played trumpet very well. But my first teacher, like I said, on the third trumpet part, got me on trombone. I really practiced that a lot because he had an amazing tone, and I wanted to sound like him. So I used to practice to the point where I started getting private lessons. Then when I moved, I played tuba a little bit, and then I got introduced. This is why I say experiences earlier. I got introduced into the Richmond Symphony Youth Orchestra program, and when I was doing that, I already had experience with tuba. And they needed a tuba player. I told my mom to sign me up because I want to be around people that are better than me, and I just grew my skills even more. And I started playing tuba and trombone constantly. I got into the double bass in high school, and ironically, compared to a lot of people, I'm the least person here at my grad program who's been playing double bass less than everybody. Everybody been playing for years. I've been playing for like 7 years now. So I started very late playing double bass. But same thing with experiences. I had the opportunity to do it in a class, orchestra class, and I just kept at it. Got private lessons on that too. Cause I met another educator who was in the area, who was a local guy in the area, and he played at a local symphony group. And now I ended up playing in symphony too. And so he just taught me some things. So I really believe like my musical journey was really shaped by good educators, and it blessed me to do some amazing things. And I'm just super blessed and thankful for that. So that's my journey. Yeah.
So for me, I started playing saxophone in the eighth grade, and then I played that instrument all the way up and through college. I had some minimal experience with other instruments like piano. All music majors have to go through at least a few piano courses, and then I was switched to flute briefly. I even started my path of learning euphonium, but that didn't last long. So my main primary instrument was alto saxophone, and like Jamari and Henry said, I have had great educators, and some were more useful in discipline and structure, and some were more useful in um, growing the gifts and talents that that was in me to come out. So I think college was a mixture of both things. Once I got there, and my skills grew through, of course, practicing, being able to learn new things and wanting to learn new things, and being around people that were exceptionally skilled, and just having a hunger and a drive. So that kind of carried me through college and through getting better with playing my primary instrument.
All right, so there is one question in the comments, and it says, is there any way that others can reach you, like if you have a blog, YouTube channel, or anything, that you have a platform on social media?
Um, you can follow me on Instagram, j._Mari19. Um, I usually don't really post any of my work stuff. It's more personal, but yeah, that's my platform.
You can follow me at just Rashad 2 underscores. Um, I do a little bit of food content. I record and edit. I might add music. I might add my own music that I'm producing. But that's what I mainly do, and that's what I post on my page. So just Rashad on all socials. My Twitter is not active right now. So it's just Rashad currently on Instagram and TikTok.
You can contact me at Mr. _ Henry Harris. That's on Instagram, or you can go to my website, hpharris.com. I usually keep both very updated. Events I'm doing, I put on the website too. So you just, yeah,
Can you say your website again?
hpharris.com.
Okay, let me get these posted. So I'll wrap it up. It's 7:58. Thank you guys for your time and the stories that you've shared. This will be posted up today. And again, if you have any personal pieces or any composition or pieces or arrangements that you feel like you want to put out there or just be known or for somebody just to listen to, you can send that to me and I will get it posted as well. And if there's anything you guys want to say, this is the chance to say it.
Thank you for your time, Haley. You did great.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Yeah, appreciate being on here. Nice.
Thank you guys. All right. Thank you guys so much. And we miss you guys. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon sometime here. You guys have a good rest of your night.
You as
All right,
well.
you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.